Hello everybody and welcome to the page. Today we are going to be styling a handlebar mustache using the Death Grip Sudden Death medium hold wax, as well as a layer of the OG Death Grip wax. Just both awesome products that I use daily. Anyways, first gonna get right into it here. Mostly blow dry, round brush. That's really going to help start you off in the right direction as far as getting the curls in the mustache that you want. The round brush works really well, I've found. You can find a smaller one. That would be ideal. This one's a little bit bigger than I'd like to use, but it's just the way it is. Use what you got. Again, I know there is some blow dryer brush combos. I've seen a few out there. I haven't have one yet, but may look into getting one as the mustache gets longer. You can see it's not a bad length now. I haven't measured it in a bit, but it does take a bit to get it kind of shaped and dry. That's kind of the first thing. Even if I'm not going to do it right away with wax, I'll always blow dry it and brush it right out of the shower or right after I've cleaned it. That's just going to make your life much easier. And some days just having that basic kind of style is enough to make you just not even worry about it. Just say, yeah, it works. You know, it's all good. So here we are. I'm just kind of messing around. Figure I'd be a little bit more set up. Unbelievable, this guy. Look at me, just take your time. No worries. Yeah, there I am mumbling to myself. Get ready. A little behind the scenes there. Mirror in the back. Flannel, obviously. Gotta have it. Yeah, so like I said, Sudden Death Grip Wax. This is the one I use daily. It's got a strong hold, but you don't have to use the blow dryer to soften it up or anything. It'll just come right out of the tin, which I'll show you here in a second. Use the back of your thumbnail, carve some out of there, and you're good to go. Obviously, depending on the size and thickness of your mustache, you may need a little bit more, you may need a little less. Again, it's going to take a little bit of back and forth. Lots of trial and error, figuring out what exactly you do need. So take that into consideration, because I use that much in mine. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to use that much or that's all that you need. Yeah, and then just start kind of from the center, get a good amount in, and then just start pulling it back through your mustache. Would you like to just use, both hands. Get both hands going. Then pull it nice and straight, kind of get it to where you want. On one side, now you're not going to be able to shape it immediately. Obviously, when you take the wax out on your thumb or whatever you use, whether you use a blow dryer or not, it softens the wax, so it's going to take a little bit for that wax to start setting up. So if you try styling right away, you're going to go probably fucking nuts trying to get it to stay where you want it to stay. So usually I'll throw it in both sides, wait a couple minutes, and just let it soften up. You'll see kind of what I do as well if I'm in a rush, or in this case, if I'm making a video, I'll just use blow dryer, set it on cold. But again, you'll see that in a little bit here. But get a good amount of wax, work into both sides to start. I know a lot of people get frustrated. I see a lot of comments and stuff online just about not getting all the hairs where they want them to be. Again, this is something that if you're trying to do it quickly, if you're in a rush, or you're just not using enough wax, I know sometimes you think, or it feels like you're using so much wax, but you might just need just a little bit more. Throw it on and just kind of go and hit up certain areas if you have stray hairs. But honestly, probably the best thing to do is just give it a couple minutes. Let that wax kind of get a little bit harder, and then start working those hairs again, or try working those hairs again. Because I deal with the same thing, man. There's so many loose hairs, and you just try and wrangle them all in. So This video, I was going to cut it. I was going to do a bunch of kind of just chop it all down. But for those people that think that it takes a long time, I know, like, you're like, oh man, 10 minutes. This video is a little bit longer, only because I didn't want to cut it out, just to show you exactly, like an honest depiction of how long it takes, just to give you realistic expectations if you're growing it out, or if you feel like you're just not doing it quick enough. It does take time. So bear with me. You'll kind of see all the way to the end. Again, I use all Death Grip products right now. I'm going to try a few things, but I found like this little Death Grip comb here is fucking perfect for just combing through. It's made of metal, so just combing through the mustache wax after it's been in there for a few minutes. So I got one layer of mustache wax on right now, sudden death. I'm going to add a second one. I'll put a little bit more in. You can see it just pulling hairs out right there, which you'll get, which you'll have as well. But I think it's kind of work it flat. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here as we go along. But it does look a little bit flatter on the front, and then I'll work my curls up from there. But yeah, look at that hair. Good Lord, this guy. Well, there you go. And I'm breaking up the Death Grip. Death Grip wax. Now, this stuff you do need the blow dryer for. It is a little bit heavy with the pine resin and the beeswax, so it is a super strong hold product. Usually, if I put this in, it can stay in for 2 to 3 days, no problem. And you can kind of just go ahead and restyle it even the next morning, even after sleep. Like I've done it where, like, go to the gym, play 18 holes of golf, come back home, shower, and go to bed. And I wake up the next morning, and it's just really like a quick little readjustment. Just pull everything back in place. I don't have to add any more wax. So same thing. You can see there's substantially less of this. That's all you need. I promise you, this is going just over top of the sudden death wax, so it is just the like a third layer of wax in here. But this is really just going to help set the mustache in place and let me do what I want. Let me do with it what I want to do with it, and just keep the hold all through the entire day. Yeah, I just probably could use a shave too. We'll do that in another video there. Let me know if you are interested in all straight razor shave videos, or even maybe safety shave videos. Kind of just looking at getting into mustache, just kind of men's grooming videos. So yeah, like if you like kind of what you're seeing, you're listening to, if you want less talking, more explanations. I don't know how the hell you get more talking, but if you do want certain videos and styling videos or how-to videos, despite what my hair looks like now, I think I can actually make some decent videos there on how to get your hair or mustache the way you want it. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, once you put the heat to it and you warm up that wax, doesn't take long, maybe 15, 20 seconds. That's soft enough. And then, of course, once you've got it soft, get it out, get it in the mustache. You don't want it to sit for too long, although it starts to harden up fairly quick, and you'll really start pulling the hairs out of the face. And yeah, but again, with the Death Grip stuff, you really don't need a lot to get the styling back in. Once it's in, I like to just comb that center bit. Once I get that Death Grip in there, I won't go all the way to the ends. I'll just kind of organize those center hairs, and then from there I can kind of get them rallied back in place. So this is what I was talking about. When you see the stray hairs there, you can see them just kind of going on the top or on the bottom there. And that'll, as that wax starts to set up, they will start sticking more, and they'll kind of stay where you want them to stay. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Not too shabby. So, obviously, I'm a huge Death Grip guy. I have a 20% discount code if you're interested. It's just Mustache Doug 20. You can use it online, and that's off of all their products. I don't know how much you know about Death Grip, but they do have mustache waxes, balms, mustache wax remover. They have pomade. They have clay. They have wet shaving soap, boar bristle brushes or badger bristle brushes, I believe. Some sick ass travel cases, as well as like a nice motorcycle bag carrying case as well. I would highly recommend to go check out their website, see what it is, see what it's all about. You want to kind of get an idea of it, you can also obviously search on social media. Hashtag Death Grip Brotherhood is something that a lot of mustache guys will use on there. So take a look and see. I would highly recommend it, and I will put the discount code here up on the screen. Feel free to use it. Again, it's 20% off all their products or a complete order. Just throw it in when you're at checkout and be good to go. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, I'm making the video, so I have the blow dryer set on cold here, and that's just to help the wax set up a little bit quicker, just so I can get into styling it sooner than I normally would, especially being in the bathroom there in the house. The heat does take a little bit longer. Sometimes if it's cooler outside, you can put the wax in, just go step outside, give it a couple seconds out there, and then come back in. It's usually a little bit nicer to style, but in this case, I am just using the blow dryer set to cold. Works like a hot dam, and kind of get into it right away. And even as you're cooling it down, you can kind of style a little bit at the same time. I did this. Yeah, this will stay in for the amount of wax I use every day. This will stay easily for 2 days. Might even go 3, depending on what I eat and how messy it gets. Anybody with a mustache will tell you there are just certain foods that maybe aren't the best to eat. When golf, like I said, like I'm gonna go golfing later today. Gonna have to skip the hot dog. Just can't do it with the condiments on the top. It just gets everywhere. So, as funny as that may seem, hot dogs aren't really on the table currently with the mustache the way it is. Yeah, man, that was fucking weird. Anyways, now you know. Slowly starting to take shape. I'm not doing a huge curl, so I just kind of like the handlebar out the side. Slowly just try to dial it in. This is the part where you can go insane, because even though in theory there's so much wax in there and it should work, I will still find that I will get at the ends, it'll either curl, sometimes it'll curl in back towards my face, one side will curl out. You'll get the hairs splitting just at the top, so you may even need to add a little bit more wax. I find sometimes just pinching it and pulling it back, kind of from the center back out again, will move a little bit more of that wax to the tip of the mustache, and you can get it set up there. It'll bring those hairs back together. But yeah, this is really where it can be maddening. 100%. It can be absolutely maddening at times. But for me, I find once it's all done, once I actually get finished and everything, that it actually is worth it. I like the way it looks, and it's not something that I am doing every single day. Like I said, you'll get 2-3 days out of this. But even if you just use the medium hold, you'll get the full day, but it doesn't take nearly as long. If you want to do curls too, you can. Curls are a little bit more low maintenance, I guess you could say. Once you curl it, you can kind of pinch the curl, and that's my thoughts. I don't know whether people would agree, but I find, especially with longer ones like this, where it just goes straight up the side, I'm catching it on stuff. Sometimes lifting my arm, like I'll just go to, at the gym or whatever, go to wipe sweat, and yeah, I'll just push the mustache straight up, Whereas if it's curled, then it's kind of curled up and out of the way. So it doesn't bother me at all. But I find this overall to be a little bit more high maintenance throughout the day. But like I said, it's worth it. See people look, oh, holy shit, not something you see every day. And that's true. That's also because it'd be frustrating as hell to do every day. But again, just my thoughts on that. Most days, especially in camp or whatever, I'll just go with the softer hold wax. I'll make my curls and usually get away with it that way. Because of all the dust and dirt and everything, I don't want to put a ton of wax in it because I do want to wash it every day. So I usually won't spend this much time for the 2 weeks that I'm away at work. So when I'm home, I do enjoy taking the time doing straight razor, like, straight razor shaves or safety razor shaves, stuff that takes a little bit more time, a little bit more of an experience. And mustache is the same way. Like, I'll just take a lot more time at home doing it, just because I have the time. I like the experience. I like the feeling. So I would encourage you, if you haven't tried straight razor shaving, give it a try. I mean, it takes a little bit to learn, figure out, but it is a great shave. And I don't know, man, there's just something old-fashioned-y and dope as fuck about it. So I would encourage you to do that. If you're growing a mustache and you're thinking, how long do you want to go? Don't set a limit on it. Just keep growing it. I thought when I started back in November on this particular mustache, I was like, I'm just going to grow it until I'll grow it for a year, and then I'll shave it. But right now, I'll tell you, I am no plans at all to shave this mustache. So please, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.